Hi, welcome to Smell the Flowers Yoga. My name is Jessica Flowers, and today I'm going to be guiding you through a yin practice. We'll be focusing on the shoulders and arms today. So for the practice, you may want a strap. We're going to be doing one stretch where we'll have our arms behind our back. So if your hands don't come in contact with each other, you may want a strap or something like even a washcloth that may just, extend that length that you can grab on with your two hands and make some connection there. And you may also want some blocks. I don't think that you will need a bolster today, but it's always nice to have a blanket around or a towel that you can use to fold up and fill in any spaces. Because in yin yoga, we want to be supported. That will help our body to relax. We'll be relaxing the muscles so that we can really get deep into the tissues, particularly the connective tissue or the fascia. So to get started, we're going to come into child's pose. So for that, I like to take a nice wide knee child pose, bringing my knees out towards the edge of the mats. Your toes can come together in the back, and then you just sit your hips down towards your heels. Now, if they don't come there, you could bring a bolster underneath, or you could bring a couple of blocks underneath your seat and sit on those blocks. Once you get your hips situated over your heels, you can begin to walk your hands out long in front of you, just creating nice length through your back body. You might bring a block in underneath your forehead if your forehead doesn't come down to the ground. You can shift your hips from side to side, get nice and settled here. Just relaxing and opening up through your shoulders and your armpits and your upper back. As you're folded in here, maybe you start to bring to mind something that you'd like to cultivate more of with your practice today. Maybe more love, kindness, self-compassion. With each breath, maybe softening a little bit more through your shoulders, sinking a little closer to the earth. Feel your breath filling your whole rib cage, expanding through the front side of your body, the back side of your body. On your next breath, begin to walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, maybe even setting your left hand on top of your right. Just breathing a little bit more into the left side of your body. Opening up a little more space for your heart, your stomach, your spleen. 2 or 3 more nice deep breaths here. And then you can begin to walk your hands over to the left edge of your mat. Maybe bringing your right hand on top of your left. Breathing a little more into your right lung. Creating space through your right ribs. And opening up through your liver. Walking your hands back to center, and then just bringing them in towards your body. You can come up, lift your hips up out of your heels, bring your knees a little bit closer together. You might feel good to just rock your hips from side to side. You might look over your shoulder. Just swish nice and slow, like a cat swishing its tail. You might want to come into some cat-cows. So tucking your chin, rounding your back up towards the sky as you exhale. Inhale, dipping your belly down towards the mat, bringing your heart forward. Maybe doing a few more just like that. Opening up the spine. And then keeping your hips over your knees, you're going to be coming down in front. You might start just by coming onto your forearms. Just pause here for a few breaths. And then you can stretch your hands out long in front. If that feels all right, opening up through your shoulders and your upper back, creating a little bit of a back bend in your upper spine. Now, if this is too intense, you could always do one arm at a time. You could have one arm outstretched, one arm folded. You could rest your forehead on the back of that arm, or you could bring a block in as well if you have both arms or one arm. It might feel more comfortable to have your forehead on the block. Sometimes in this posture, you might also explore having your block up a little bit higher, maybe settling it right around your collarbone area. Be supported in your chest. Then you may explore bringing your forehead down. Just try to relax your muscles as much as you can here, particularly in your legs. Just let the bones hold and support you. If you had one arm folded in, you may switch and bring your other arm out long, fold the opposite arm in. pose is called Anahatasana, or melting heart. So just imagine your heart softening, melting down towards the earth, feeling that positive energy from the earth, nurturing and supporting your heart. Just a few more breaths here. And then bringing energy into your hands, pressing into the earth, coming back up briefly. You might take some more rocking from side to side here. And then we're going to come all the way down onto our belly. Once you get here, just pause for a moment, stack your arms one on top of the other, and just rest your forehead. Lifting your head up, bring your elbows under your shoulders. Your forearms can be out long in front of you, or if you like, if this is too intense for your back, you may grab opposite elbows and maybe walk your elbows out a little in front of you. Otherwise, we're coming into Sphinx pose here. So moving that back bend a little further down into your back. But you shouldn't feel any sharp pain here. If you do, just come back out of it a little bit. You can soften your shoulders here. Feel your pelvis rooting down into the earth, pressing down as you lift the back of your head up towards the ceiling, creating more space in your spine. You can explore what you'd like to do here with your neck today. You might rock it from side to side, opening up through the sides of your neck. You could explore dropping your chin down. You may even bring a block in, rest your forehead on the block. Or you could have your eyes straight forward, and maybe just soften or close your eyes. Stimulating the kidneys here, bringing in that nice vital life force energy. Three or four more breaths here. And then lowering yourself back down. You can take your arms out to a cactus arms and turn your right cheek down to the mat and just bring your left knee up towards your left elbow. Just taking a brief rest here. then sending your left leg back long, both legs straight behind you. You can come in again once more to Sphinx pose. Or maybe you'd like to explore seal here. For seal, you can take your hands, and I also like to take my feet a little bit wider. So your hands may be at the edges of your mat or even a little wider. You lift your elbows up off the mat. And you can explore walking your hands in a little closer to your body. Making sure you keep your shoulders low, down away from your ears. Sinking that pelvis down into the earth. Maybe even attempting to bring your belly button a little closer to the ground. Moving this back bend a little higher up in your spine. You don't want too much compression in your low back. See if you can bring it just a little bit higher. And always, if you're feeling any sharp shooting pain here, just come back out of it to whatever level is most comfortable for you. We'll have a few more breaths here. And then lowering back down. You might just take your hips and rock them from side to side a little bit, releasing any tension you might have had there. And then bringing your arms to cactus arms again. You're going to take your right knee up towards your right elbow. Just opening up through that right hip a little bit. You can turn your face, your left cheek this time. Turn and look towards your right. I'm going to just keep my face towards the camera. Bringing your right leg back in line with your left. You can just roll onto one side, and we're going to come up to seated. Once you get there, you'll have both legs out long in front of you to start with. You may want to have a block and your strap nearby, so grab for those if they're not within reach right now. And then we're going to start with a half shoelace with your left leg over your right. So for that, I'll show you on this side so you can see what you're doing with your foot here. But you'll have your ankle flexed, just your toes pointed out towards the side. Your knees are approximately stacked one on top of the other. You might bring a blanket or towel in if there's a large gap there. You can also explore bringing the sole of your foot to the mat and just having this knee bent if that's better for your legs. Going back to left over right. Just wanted to show you the foot position there. Now we're going to start with having our arms. You can take your left arm out to the side, turn your thumb down so the back of your hand is forward. Then you're going to bring the back of the hand onto your back along your spine, somewhere maybe down here. Just see how far you can bring that hand up your spine. And then your right hand is going to reach up and over. Maybe your fingers touch. If they don't, mine don't very well on this side, you can bring that strap or washcloth or something in so that you can grab on and have a little bit of contact there. Now with your right arm, make sure it's not pressing. You can have it in close to your head, but you don't want it pressing your neck forward, causing too much of a bend in your neck there. Now if you like, you can explore bending forward over your knees. Flex your right foot. Feel that lengthening through the back side of your right leg. On your next inhale, coming back up, releasing your arms. Just shake your hands out a little bit, your elbows and your shoulders. And then you can just take your hands out, flex your wrists so your fingertips are coming back towards your forearm. Good, rock your head over to the right side and just rock it forward and back a few times. And then bringing your head over your left ear towards your left shoulder. Just rock back and forth a few times over that shoulder. And then releasing the arms. Now we're going to come into eagle arms. You can take your left hand over your right and either just grab opposite shoulders, giving yourself a little hug. Or if you like, you could bring your forearms up. Maybe your forearms wrap around and your palms come together. Take a few breaths here. And then if you like, you can explore folding forward over your legs. Maybe your elbows come to rest somewhere on your leg. Just feeling that opening through your shoulders and your upper back. Taking 3 or 4 more breaths here. And releasing your arms. Uncrossing your legs. Just have both legs out long in front of you. You might let your feet rock from side to side a little bit, or it might feel good to bounce your legs up and down. And we're going to move into that on the other side. So bringing your right leg over the top of your left, bending your right knee, bringing that heel in close to your hip. Having your foot flexed, or maybe you have the sole of your foot on the ground. You can fill in any space that might be between your knees. And then we're going to start with bringing the right arm out to the side, turning the thumb down, so your back of your hand is forward. Bring that somewhere along your lower spine. Your left hand is going to come up and over, probably with a strap here, so you can make contact between your 2 hands. keeping your spine straight here. So you can bring your elbow in, but not pressing your head forward. And then if you like, you can begin to fold forward. Flexing your left ankle, increasing a little bit the length behind your left leg. Using your breath to help you through any discomfort you might be feeling, any tightness. You can use that breath to bring some energy to that space. And as you exhale, just letting that loosen and relax. You might open and close your jaw a few times. And then your next inhale, coming up, releasing your arms, shaking them out. Be doing a few shoulder rolls. We'll take arms out to the side again, this time bringing your fingertips up to your thumb, the palm of your hand up towards the ceiling. And then again, just take your ear over to your right shoulder and just rock gently back and forth. Maybe noticing a little bit different sensation in that stretch through your trapezius muscles. You might even feel the connection all the way up to your jawbone. Bringing your head down through front, your ear over towards your left shoulder. And just rocking back and forth, letting go of that tension through your shoulder and your jaw. And then relaxing your arms. Coming back to center, this time you'll bring your right arm over your left. And again, you can give yourself a hug here, just having hands rest on opposite shoulders. Or you might bring your forearms up, wrapping them around each other. Just focus on opening up through that upper back and shoulders. And then if you like, again, you may begin to fold forward. Maybe your elbows come to rest on your legs. And tuck your chin in. And 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then releasing your arms, uncrossing your legs. And just bouncing your legs or rocking your feet from side to side. Next, we're going to come into butterfly pose. I'm just going to turn to face the camera for this. Bring the soles of your feet together. You might bring in your blocks underneath your legs. Oh, there's Madeline. Or you could bring a blanket. I really like to do this, like opening up the blanket, wrapping it around so it comes over your ankles and tucks in under your shins. We're going to do a little bit of stretching for our wrists here. So we'll start by just bringing the palm of your hand down onto the mat. You might do this inside your shins and just lean forward a little bit. And then you can bring your hands in front of your shins, bring the back of your hand onto the mat, and then just lean forward. You might even tuck your hands under your shins. And then coming back up, let's do a little bit of massage for our neck here. So just taking your hands, if you have glasses, you might take those off. You can take your hands, maybe clasping your hands together, bringing your thumbs to where your skull meets your neck, just using your thumbs to massage in there. You're rubbing up and down your neck. And then you can take one elbow in the opposite palm, bring that hand over your shoulder, just kind of squeezing and sponging through your neck muscles and your shoulder. Our connective tissues are meant to hold a lot of water that helps them to glide, also helps them to provide nice cushion when they're nice and hydrated. So when you do a squeezing motion like this, you can kind of think of it like that sponge. You're applying that pressure to get the liquid out, and then as you release, it can fill back up. And then just taking your other elbow in the palm of your hand, that hand over your shoulder, just doing a little bit of sponging, squeezing on your neck and down your shoulder. Releasing that out, just shake your hands again, and then clasping your fingers together, just take your hands up overhead, do a nice stretch there, and you might lean over to one side, take a few breaths here, and then up and over to the other side, taking a few breaths here. And then releasing your arms. We're going to make our way down onto our back. You may want a block nearby as we are going to come into a twist eventually here. But first, to start with, just coming onto your back. You can have your knees up, just roll back. Once you get there, we'll just do a little bit of centering, so you can bring your knees up, the palms of your hands on the top of your knees. Take a nice deep inhale, And as you exhale, just let your knees come in towards your chest. Inhale, letting them float away. Exhale, drawing them in. Just doing that a few more times on your own breath. And then you can set your right foot back down on the mat, just taking your left leg. You might do some circles, rocking that from side to side. And then you can take your right leg out long, and your left leg, you're going to use your right hand and just use that to gently guide your left leg across your body, coming into your twist. You might want to have your block over here on your right side for your knee to come down onto. And then for today's twist, you may take your left arm and just bring it up overhead, draping it over your left ear. Just breathing into that left side of your body. Feeling your breath expand the space between your ribs. Opening up through your shoulder and your armpit. Taking a few more breaths here. As you prepare to come back onto your back, just bring your left arm back down and then roll back onto your back. And bring both knees up again and just do that little bit of drawing your knees in, letting them float away. This little massage for your low back. Giving it a little bit of nourishment and support for all the work that it does for you. And then you can set your left foot down, bringing your right knee in. Just do some gentle rocking from side to side and some circles, just getting that hip joint ready to move a little bit more into the twist. And then you can send your left leg out long. Bring a block over to your left side. And then using your left hand on your right leg, just draw that leg across your body, rolling onto your left hip. And opening up through your body, your upper body a little bit. And then you can take your right arm, draping it over your ear, increasing that stretch along the right side of your body, all the way from your hips, up through your ribs, your armpit, your shoulder, your upper arm, through your elbow and your wrist, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Nice open line of energy. Smooth, even breaths. Take a few more nice deep breaths here, feeling that expansion through the right side of your body. And bringing your right arm back down, just gently roll back onto your back. Once you get there, bringing both knees up again, just doing a little gentle rocking from side to side, maybe some circles. You could wrap your arms around your legs, maybe even coming up a little bit, just giving yourself a nice hug here. And then when you're ready, you can come into whatever posture is most comfortable for you for your final relaxation. Just taking a few minutes to let these practices settle into your body. You might send your legs out long, letting your feet open comfortably to the sides, maybe rocking them back and forth a little bit first. Let your hands come resting by your sides, palms up towards the ceiling. Maybe you bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then let them sink and settle back down to the earth. You might squeeze your fists and then let them soften and relax. And finally, just let your head relax, maybe rocking it from side to side a little bit. And coming back to center. Softening through your eyes and your forehead.
Letting your jaw be nice and relaxed. You'll hear my voice again in about 2 minutes. It's now time to reawaken your body. You might begin to deepen your breath a little bit. Bring a little movement into your fingers and your toes. Moving your wrists and your ankles. You can draw your knees in towards your chest one at a time. Give yourself one more hug here. Giving yourself some appreciation for taking time for your practice today. Gratitude for your body, especially your shoulders and your arms, your wrists. And then when you're ready, rolling onto your side, just cradle your head and your arm for a few breaths. Nice and slowly coming out of your practice. And then using your hands, pressing into the ground, coming back up to seated. Taking a nice comfortable seat. I invite you to bring your hands out to your sides. And as you inhale, just imagine you're scooping up all this positive, loving, healing energy that you cultivated with your practice. And then bring that right down into your heart center, bowing to yourself, acknowledging that this light and love and positive healing energy is always inside of you for you to tap into when you need it. And then we bow to each other, acknowledging that light exists in each and every one of us. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope you will take this light, this love that you've cultivated, and share it with those around you. Namaste.